Hi everybody, I just got home from the gym and I'm going to prepare dinner real quick for Sophie. So and the amount of time that I'm going to do this video is going to be the amount of time that I'm going to spend preparing dinner for her. And we stayed at the gym to get a workout in, and now we're just home and ready to eat. So this is just a simple dinner that I'm going to throw together. I've just got one package of chicken strips. I'm allergic to chicken, so I can't eat it, so this will just be for Sophie. This is the Bear brand chicken strips that I bought, and that is available at Deerberg's. So just one package of chicken strips. I have 2 egg whites that are sitting here in a little bowl. I'm going to be using those, and then I'm going to be posting a picture that will have all of the ingredients that I used as soon as I'm finished. And I have just a package of the Bob's Red Mill almond flour, and that can be bought at Deerberg's. This is a super basic meal. Everything is just simple and at Deerberg's. I have my grill pan that's warming up over on the stove top, and if you all saw my salmon video, then you know what that grill pan is, but I'll show you in case you don't. The grill pan is just a regular skillet, but it has those, you know, kind of like the grill lines in it. And I've just got some avocado oil that's just been sitting in there. And I have this on low. Now I'm going to turn it a little bit more towards medium because I want to get a sear when I do this. So if you are starting to prepare, that's when you want to go ahead and plan to warm up your skillet. And then I've got a big skillet next to it, and I'm going to do some green beans. So before I start playing with the chicken, I want to show you what I'm going to do with the green beans. I use these big skillets. My mom gave me this one for Christmas, and it's I mean, there's a lot of depth to it. I mean, you can get a lot in here. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to drizzle. I'm going to first put it on a little bit above medium. Now I'm going to drizzle some avocado oil in here, and then I'm going to take 2 bags of green beans that are literally frozen. So this is nothing, like I'm not warming them up in the microwave. I'm not going to have to sit and wait. This is just 2 frozen bags of green beans. And I'm taking those frozen bags of green beans, pouring them in on top of the avocado oil that I put in there, and I'm just going to stick that on a little bit above medium, not on high, but a little bit above medium heat. And I'm just going to let those green beans cook, and all it's going to be doing is just turning them. So the longer I can let them cook on a little bit lower heat where it's not burning them, but yet at the same time it's like nicely slow cooking them, the better they're going to taste. So they almost get crispy, but not too crispy. They're really good. So I just threw those in frozen, so super simple. And now I've got my grill pan heated up over here. I put my almond flour down on the pan here, and I'm just going to get some basic ingredients. First thing, sea salt. We sell this at the gym, or you can buy it at O'Fallon Nutrition. This is the Celtic sea salt, mineralized, so you're getting all your minerals, not just sodium. Very important when you're doing salt. I know I sound like a broken record because I always say that. And then I'm just going to throw pepper in here. That's Dolly. She's seeing someone across the street. A little bit of pepper on there. And then I've got parsley. Parsley is a great way to add some potassium to what you're having. So I'll just throw parsley all over that almond flour. A little bit of paprika. Again, there's no measuring here. I'm just throwing everything just kind of on top of the almond flour. I've got garlic granules that I bought from Whole Foods, but I believe O'Fallon Nutrition sells this as well, so you don't have to go all the way to Whole Foods for that. And then onion powder. So I've got that kind of all blending together here. So you've got your salt and pepper, you've got your paprika, you've got your parsley, and then you're just going to get this to where it's just sort of evenly moved around in that almond flour. And then I'm going to dredge the chicken strips in that egg white mixture. So a little bit of egg white mixture. And then I'm going to throw the chicken strip in that almond flour mixture. Pat it down real good. Get it coated real good. It's not like it's going to taste deep fried. it's just going to have some flavor to it. So, you know, it's not going to be perfectly breaded, but it's just going to have a little bit of flavor to it. From there, I have my grill pan heated up with that avocado oil in there. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it right on the heat. Now I didn't hear the sizzle I wanted, so I'm turning that heat up. I had that warming up, so it's hot, but when I put that on there, I want to sizzle because I want to get, you know, a little bit of a crust on this chicken strip, and then I'm going to ultimately put it in the oven, which I'm not going to have to leave it in the oven for a long period of time, but that's why I want to kind of get that good sear in the beginning. And so I turned the heat up. So I've got the heat almost to high, not quite to high, but almost to high. So I'm just patting down these chicken strips with my almond flour mixture. And then I'm throwing them in the pan, searing them up in the pan. So egg white, then almond flour, parsley, paprika, garlic granules, onion powder, and salt and pepper. My green beans are starting to sizzle. So as soon as I get all these chicken strips in my skillet, I'm going to stir my green beans. You don't have to fear it. It's okay for them to just be kind of sizzling, because like they're just going to kind of brown up really good. So working my way through here. Again, these are just the Bear brand chicken strips that were purchased at Dierberg's. No need to drive all the way to Whole Foods. If you like to buy Farmer Girl meats, she does chicken strips. So if you go to farmergirlmeats.com, that would be a way of getting organic chicken strips. But the Bear brand is a good brand of chicken, so that's what I do for Dierberg's. Sophie likes a lot of stuff, like she likes to just eat stuff that's laying on top of a bed of lettuce. You know, shredded lettuce, maybe with a little onion and maybe a tomato or something. So you could take these chicken strips and just put you a really good like bed of lettuce down, and just maybe like a little bit of onion and tomato, and just lay those chicken strips on top of that. That's how she likes to eat stuff. So like if we go, like today we went to lunch and went to Cooper's Hawk, and they brought her hamburger, and they brought it on shredded lettuce and tomato and onion, and she had a pickle on the side, and she really likes it like that. Another thing you could do with these chicken strips, my last one, is you could lettuce wrap them. That'd be really good. So you could do lettuce wrap with avocado, or you wouldn't even have to do avocado. You could just do guacamole for maybe a little spice, and then throw the chicken strips in there. You could get kind of Mexican with this and use that Mexican seasoning that I talked about in one of my videos here recently that I picked up at Whole Foods. And Nikki just informed me that O'Fallon Nutrition is going to start selling that Mexican seasoning, and I think they actually already are. So if you go to O'Fallon Nutrition, you're going to want to look for that Mexican seasoning. Okay, so I now have all of my chicken strips in the skillet. I just have to wash my hands real quick. And I've got my green beans going pretty good. So they're definitely ready to be flipped. So I'm going to get over there and flip those green beans. So they've been in there the entire time. They're frozen. They're frozen, and they've been in here the entire time that I've been making the chicken strips. Not that big a deal. Every now and again, as I'm making the green beans and just moving them around, I might have to take the avocado oil and just drizzle a little bit more avocado oil just so nothing gets, you know, dried out too much. So I'm going to check these chicken strips. I don't think they're ready, but I'm going to check them. And what I'm doing is I'm waiting for these to really kind of brown up a little bit. So after they brown up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them inside this sheet cake pan. So I have parchment paper down, I have a wire cooking rack, and then I just set it inside what's called a sheet cake pan. You can buy these at Sam's. I buy them at Williams-Sonoma, and I've had some of the same ones for 15 years. They don't go bad. This can be bought at Williams-Sonoma as well. This is a full size, just cookie cooling rack, and it fits inside the sheet cake pan perfectly. They sell the ones that actually fit inside the sheet cake pans perfectly. You could also get them off of Amazon. This is something you should own. When I made the salmon, I could pan sear it. I could cook it on here a little bit longer if I wanted to. If I'm making vegetables, I can cook them on there. I can finish baking them on there, like asparagus. I can finish baking them on there. I love baking fish on there. I'm going to put the chicken strips on there. So I would definitely recommend having that. Again, remember that chicken was the Bear brand, and I got that at Deerberg, so that's an easy fix. And then I just picked up super fine almond flour from Deerberg's, used the almond flour, and I combined salt, pepper, paprika, parsley for some potassium, garlic granules, and onion powder, just to get a little bit of flavoring. And I'm just pan searing those chicken strips right now in my grill pan, which you don't have to use a grill pan for it. You easily could just use a skillet. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I have 2 frozen bags of green beans over here, just slowly cooking on a little bit higher than medium heat. And then when these get finished, a couple of things that I'm going to have available to dip would be some of those mustards that I told you about in a couple of other videos. And then also a really good tomato sauce. These are all things that I found at Whole Foods. So every now and again, going to Whole Foods is going to be necessary to really get some creative stuff. But you'll go and you'll get the stuff, and then you don't have to go for a while. So you don't have to go there every week, you know. So just get a bank of it and store it at the top of your pantry, and then you're good for a while. So this is a spicy brown organic mustard that I found at Whole Foods, and this is made with apple cider vinegar, and there's no sugar. There's absolutely nothing. It's just water, organic, and apple cider vinegar, organic mustard seeds, salt, and organic turmeric. Nothing wrong with that. And then their Dijon mustard. This would be great to dip those chicken strips in. Nothing wrong with this. And then the organic German mustard that I found there. And of course they have yellow mustard there too. But then I also found this tomato sauce that has absolutely no sugar in it. And O'Fallon Nutrition is going to be selling that too. Actually, I think they already sell that. So you can look for that at O'Fallon Nutrition. So I'm flipping my chicken strips, and I'm just adding a little bit of oil because I just don't want this pan to get dried out. I like to keep them sizzling. So I'm flipping my chicken strips now, and I'm going to let them kind of brown up on the other side because I like it when they get a little bit dark, not black, but a little bit dark. And then I'm going to just throw them on my cookie sheet. So I turn the oven down just a little bit. And so as soon as I get these guys out of the skillet, again, I'm just going to move my green beans around. I think I'm ready to turn the heat down just a little bit. So just when I see a couple edges browning on these green beans, that's when I'm just going to turn them down. 2 bags of frozen green beans in there. Couldn't be any easier. I just open it up and then, oh, I'm sorry. I used almond flour. It says I came in late. What flour did you use? I used almond flour, and I get Bob's Red Mill from Deerberg's. And I'm going to post a picture with those ingredients as well. So as I get finished with taking these, I'm just going to transfer them over to that cookie sheet, to the sheet cake pan. And I'm going to put them in the oven, a 350-degree oven. You do not have to put them in the oven. You could just cook them in this grill pan and be done with it. I'm putting them in the oven because I'm a chicken paranoia person, so I'm always worried that the chicken isn't all the way cooked through. So I'm going to put them in the oven just to ensure that the chicken got all the way cooked through. And I love kind of the brownness and the crust that gets created from having that almond flour. I have one side that's a little bit crispier or a little bit darker than the other, and I like that. And I'll turn my heat off. And then these guys are just gonna go in the oven. Nothing too fancy. That's it. Just left the gym, got a workout in, came home. It didn't take very long. And I have chicken strips ready for Sophie. I'm gonna throw these in the oven. And you'll notice when I open the oven that I have a pan of Brussels sprouts that have been cooking. So I'm gonna pull these Brussels sprouts out. And as I pull them out, I want you to notice they're already cut in half. And so I get these at Dierberg's. It makes my life much, much easier. So I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of oil so they don't get too dried out. And then I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm just gonna flip these just a little bit. I like to flip them just one time. This is just one package of grill-ready vegetables at Dierberg's. And you can get them right next to kind of like the lettuce. They have all of these vegetables that they sort of pre-prepare for you. So I cook these, I like to cook these on the bottom shelf in the oven because I like for them to brown a little bit. I think they taste really good. They get almost caramelized. So I did that with those, and they're gonna be cooking just a little bit longer. So they're in there cooking with those chicken strips. Very simple. And now I'm just gonna work my spatula over here on my green beans. And the only thing I'm gonna do with the green beans until it's time to eat is I'm just gonna come over here and I'm just kind of move them around just a little bit more. So, you know, you're gonna basically put it not on medium, but just above medium now, where we started with these being just above medium, so we could get them kind of seared and cooked really good. And now I'm just moving them around. And if I can just kind of show you here, try to bring this up a little bit close. And I'll take a picture of these when they're done. And I don't know if you're really going to be able to see it well enough, but they brown on the edges. It's just such a different taste. And these were just frozen. So it's really not that complicated. I just threw frozen green beans in a skillet and they just cooked right along with the chicken. So that's simple. So we're going to have chicken strips. We're going to use some of the sauces that I talked about, and green beans and Brussels sprouts. And that is dinner, and that's what Sophie's going to have for dinner tonight. So I will post a picture of the ingredients, and then when I finally have it on a plate for her, I'll take a picture and post it for you all. I hope that this is helpful. I hope it gives you all new ideas of different ways that you can do things. If you're struggling because you have children, and you feel like you can't eat healthy because you don't want to make multiple meals for them, or you're in a situation where you just can't come up with any new creative ideas. You can't let children be the reason why you don't stay healthy, and you can't let children be the reason why you have an excuse to not eat clean. Children should actually be the reason why you do eat clean. You are the responsible party for that child. You, in your decisions, can change their life forever, and you can keep disease out of their body with your choices and the decisions that you make in terms of how you feed them. If your child is battling with attention deficit, if they're battling with eczema, if they're battling with breakouts, if they're battling with gastrointestinal issues, bloating, or any type of allergy, you gotta think about the foods that you're feeding your kids. It makes a difference. If they're staying sick all the time, you really need to look at what you're feeding your kids. How much sugar are you giving them? How much gluten are you giving them? How much dairy are you giving them on a regular basis? You've got to pay attention to these choices. And you don't just have to pay attention to the choices for your kids, you got to pay attention to the choices for you. But the reality is if you drive the bus, if you lead the pack, then they're going to eat what you feed them. I understand how difficult it is to kind of bring this in if they're 4, 5, 6, 7 years old and they haven't been eating this way, but you're the only one that could do it. You're the only one that can start it. So you're going to have a difficult 2 weeks. So your kid's going to be, unhappy for 2 weeks, and they're going to give you grief, but they're going to be healthy for the rest of their life because you're making the choice to make the changes for them. You're going to need to sacrifice that 2 weeks and just deal with the implications so that you can get your kids eating what they need to eat, because you need to be eating what you need to eat. You need to make sure your ingredients are whole foods. This is what we do with our nutrition program at Integrity Training Systems. It's a 5-month program. We tell you exactly what to eat, where to buy it from, how to prepare it, what to order when you eat out, what you should do when you travel, any vitamins and minerals you should be taking, and what you should be drinking throughout the day. It's very specifically tailored to you, and if you have a family and we need to work with your family, we can help with that as well. So please take a look at integritytraininggroup.com or just call us today to inquire about a 5-month nutrition program. Our number is 636-299-2208, and we also offer a free personal fitness assessment. So if you'd like to come in and meet with any of our personal trainers at any of our 3 locations, we would love to have you. We have a location in O'Fallon, a location in Clayton, and a location in Creve Coeur. Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the pictures, and I hope that you try the recipe.